What if the person you trust most is secretly sowing chaos in your life? Picture this. You're at a lively party, laughing with someone who seems like the perfect friend, charming, witty, and magnetic. But as the night unfolds, you notice something unsettling. Their charm feels calculated, their words subtly cutting, and their attention always circling back to themselves. Could this be a glimpse of something darker? Welcome to a journey that's as eye-opening as it is chilling. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that could change how you see the people around you. The 5 telltale signs of an evil person. Stick with us until the end, because you won't want to miss our bonus strategy for setting unshakable boundaries to protect your peace. If you find this valuable, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and don't skip a single moment. Let's uncover the truth together and arm you with the wisdom to navigate life's trickiest relationships. You've probably met someone who lights up a room the moment they walk in. Their smile is infectious, their story's captivating, and they have a knack for making you feel like you're the only person who matters. At first, it's exhilarating. You think, wow, I found someone special. Maybe it's a new colleague who always knows the right thing to say, a friend who seems to get you, or even a family member who's the life of every gathering. But here's the thing. Appearances can be deceiving. The ancient Stoics, those masters of wisdom, urged us to look beyond the surface. They believed in piercing through illusions with reason and clarity. And when you start to observe these charismatic individuals with a clear mind, you might notice something off. The cracks in their polished facade begin to show, revealing a truth that's far less glamorous. Imagine you're at a cozy dinner party, the table is buzzing with laughter, and this person is at the center of it all, telling a story that has everyone hanging on their every word. You're drawn in, charmed by their energy. But as the evening wears on, you notice a pattern. Every time you try to share something, a thought, a story, a moment, they cut you off. They redirect the conversation back to themselves, maybe with a clever quip or a subtle jab that leaves you feeling small. At first, you brush it off. They're just outgoing, you tell yourself. But the Stoics would disagree. They'd tell you to pause, breathe, and observe. These aren't just quirks. They're red flags waving in plain sight. The Stoic principle of apatheia, or emotional balance, teaches us to stay grounded, to see through the dazzle of charm and recognize the self-centeredness lurking beneath. Now let's talk about how these individuals handle setbacks. A genuinely kind person navigates life's disappointments with grace. They listen, they reflect, and they respond with understanding. But someone hiding their true nature? That's a different story. When things don't go their way, their mask slips. Maybe they snap at a waiter who got their order wrong, or they turn cold when you disagree with them. Perhaps they try to twist the situation, manipulating others to regain control. Picture this. You're working on a group project, and this person is all smiles until their idea gets rejected. Suddenly they're defensive, blaming others, or even gaslighting you into doubting your own perspective. This isn't just a bad day, it's a glimpse into their character. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, warned us to be cautious of those who let anger or manipulation guide their actions. To him, these were signs of a soul lacking virtue, a person driven by ego rather than reason. So how do you spot these traits before you get too entangled? The Stoics believed in the power of slow, deliberate observation. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, advised us to carefully evaluate the character of those we let into our inner circle. Don't rush to judgment based on a sparkling first impression. Instead, give yourself time to watch their actions. Do they consistently put others down to lift themselves up? Do they crave attention, always needing to be the star of the show? Think back to that party. Maybe this person monopolized every conversation, dismissing your contributions with a laugh or sly comment. Over time, these behaviors add up, painting a picture of someone who thrives on control and chaos. But here's where it gets empowering. Recognizing these signs isn't just about spotting danger, it's about protecting your peace. The Stoics taught us that we can't control others, but we can control how we respond. By staying true to the principles of wisdom and self-control, you can build a shield around your mental well-being. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse, standing firm against crashing waves. The chaos of an evil person's behavior might swirl around you, but with clarity and resilience, you remain untouched. That's the Stoic way, living a life guided by virtue, no matter what storms come your way. And trust me, this is just the beginning. As we unpack the 5 signs in this video, you'll gain practical tools to not only identify these toxic traits, but also navigate them with confidence. Before we dive deeper, let's pause for a moment. Have you ever felt that nagging sense that something's off about someone, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it? That's your intuition speaking, and the Stoics would urge you to listen. They believed in trusting your rational mind to guide you toward the truth. So as we explore these signs, keep that inner voice in mind. It might just save you from heartache down the road. And speaking of saving, don't miss our special bonus section at the end of this video. I'll share a powerful strategy for setting boundaries that even the most manipulative person can't breach. It's a game changer, and you'll want to have it in your toolkit. Now let's get practical. One of the first signs to watch for is an obsession with control. Evil people often need to dominate every situation. Whether it's a casual chat or a major decision, they might interrupt you mid-sentence, dismiss your ideas, or insist on having the last word. Picture a coworker who always takes credit for your work, or a friend who guilt trips you into doing things their way. These aren't just personality clashes, they're power plays. The Stoics would remind us to stay calm and not let these tactics pull us into their drama. By maintaining your composure, you rob them of the control they crave. Another red flag? Their reactions to criticism. A virtuous person accepts feedback with humility, but an evil person lashes out, deflecting blame or turning the tables on you. It's like watching a storm erupt from nowhere, leaving you stunned and second-guessing yourself. As we continue, we'll unpack these signs with real-world examples and Stoic wisdom to guide us. You'll learn how to spot these behaviors in colleagues, friends, or even family members. And most importantly, how to protect yourself. The Stoics believed that knowledge is power, and by understanding the traits of an evil person, you're taking a massive step toward a life of peace and resilience. So don't go anywhere. The insights we're about to share could be the key to transforming your relationships and safeguarding your mental health. And if you're loving this deep dive, hit that subscribe button and stick around for the bonus strategy that'll empower you to set boundaries like a Stoic master. Let's keep this journey going. Together, we'll shine a light on the darkness and come out stronger. We've just uncovered how charm can hide a darker truth. But what happens when you peel back the layers and see how someone treats others behind closed doors? Today, we're diving deeper into the chilling signs of an evil person, focusing on 2 critical red flags: a shocking lack of empathy and the sly art of manipulation. These traits can leave you feeling drained, confused, or even questioning your own reality. Stick with us as we explore these behaviors through vivid stories and Stoic wisdom, arming you with the tools to protect your peace. Let's keep this journey going and shine a light on what's really lurking beneath the surface. Picture a quiet moment with a friend. You're pouring your heart out, sharing a struggle that's been weighing you down. You're hoping for a kind word, a nod of understanding, something to make you feel seen. But instead, they shrug, change the subject, or worse, make a cutting remark about your vulnerability. It stings, doesn't it? That's the icy chill of someone who lacks empathy, a trait the Stoics saw as essential to a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, believed we're all connected, that caring for others is part of caring for ourselves. So when someone shows no regard for your feelings, it's not just a minor slight, it's a glaring warning sign. These individuals don't just fail to comfort you in tough times. They might dismiss your joys, undermine your successes, or even claim your achievements as their own. Let's paint a picture. Imagine a coworker who seems friendly at first, always ready with a smile, but over time you notice they never celebrate your wins. You get a promotion, and instead of congratulations, they mutter something about how they deserved it more. Or worse, they take credit for your ideas in a meeting, leaving you stunned. This isn't just selfishness. It's a deliberate lack of care for how their actions affect you. The Stoics would urge us to see this for what it is, a reflection of their character, not ours. Seneca, another Stoic sage, taught that kindness and justice are the cornerstones of a good life. Someone who can't empathize is disconnected from these values, and that disconnection can lead to cruelty. They might lie without blinking, cheat to get ahead, or hurt others without a flicker of remorse. Now let's shift to the workplace. Picture a boss who demands endless hours from their team, ignoring pleas for time off or fair pay. They might publicly humiliate an employee, not to guide but to control through fear. This creates a toxic environment where stress festers and morale crumbles. Have you ever felt undervalued, like your efforts were invisible? That's the damage a lack of empathy can cause. But the Stoics offer a lifeline here. They teach us to hold fast to our inner peace, to not let someone else's coldness disturb our balance. By recognizing this behavior as a flaw in them, not you, you reclaim your power. Even in small moments, like when someone interrupts you to talk about themselves or ignores your need for help, these patterns reveal a deeper truth about their character. But it's not just about spotting the signs, it's about protecting yourself. The Stoics believed in setting boundaries to safeguard your well-being. If someone's lack of empathy leaves you feeling drained, you have every right to step back. Imagine your peace of mind as a garden, lush, vibrant, and yours to tend. You wouldn't let someone trample through it, would you? By distancing yourself from those who bring negativity, you're honoring the Stoic principle of self-control, ensuring your energy stays intact for those who truly value you. Now let's turn to an even sneakier trait: manipulation. This is where things get murky. Manipulators are like puppeteers, pulling invisible strings to bend your will to their desires. They're masters at twisting situations, making you doubt your own reality. The Stoics, with their love for clarity and truth, would see this as a direct attack on your rational mind. Epictetus taught that we should anchor our perceptions in reality, staying steadfast no matter the pressure. But a manipulator's goal is to cloud that clarity, to make you question what's real. Ever had a friend who turned a simple disagreement into a maze of confusion? That's manipulation at work. Let's bring this to life. You confront a colleague about a hurtful comment they made. Instead of owning it, they flip the script. You're too sensitive, and they say, or I never said that. You must be imagining things. Suddenly, you're second-guessing yourself, wondering if you're the one in the wrong. This is gaslighting, a classic manipulation tactic designed to erode your confidence. Or maybe you know someone who's always playing the victim. They guilt trip you into doing things you don't want, saying things like, if you were really my friend, you'd help me. You end up exhausted, always giving, while they're never there when you need them. It's like being trapped in a one-sided game where they make the rules. These tactics are subtle but devastating. A manipulator might shower you with praise one day, only to withdraw it the next, keeping you off balance. They might twist your words, sow doubt, or use your kindness against you. The Stoics would remind us to stay grounded in our principles, to see through the fog of their deceit. Imagine standing on a rocky cliff, waves crashing below. The manipulator's words are like those waves, trying to pull you under. But with stoic resilience, you remain steady, unshaken by their attempts to control you. So, how do you protect yourself? Start by trusting your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Observe their actions over time. Do they consistently twist the truth or push your boundaries? The Stoics would advise setting firm limits, like a gatekeeper guarding your peace. You don't have to confront them dramatically. Sometimes, a quiet step back is enough. By staying true to your values and refusing to let their tactics sway you, you're living the Stoic ideal of a life guided by reason and virtue. As we wrap up this section, think about the people in your life. Are there any who leave you feeling dismissed or manipulated? The Stoics believe that knowledge is power, and by recognizing these signs, you're taking control of your relationships and your peace. Stay with us for the rest of this video, where we'll dive into more red flags and share practical strategies to shield your mental health. And don't forget the subscribe button. Hit it to join us on this journey of wisdom and resilience. Let's keep uncovering the truth together. We've just peeled back the layers of manipulation and lack of empathy, revealing how some people twist reality to serve their own ends. But what happens when that control tightens, squeezing out your freedom to think and act for yourself? Today, we're diving into the heart of controlling behavior and the manipulative tactics that can trap you in someone else's web. With vivid stories and stoic wisdom, we'll uncover how to spot these signs and reclaim your autonomy. Stay with us. This journey is about empowering you to protect your peace and live a life true to your values. Imagine a friend who always seems to have your back. They shower you with compliments, making you feel like you're on top of the world. "You're so talented," they say, their words wrapping around you like a warm blanket. But then you notice a catch. Those compliments come right before they ask for a favor. Maybe they need you to cover for them at work or lend them money. At first, it feels good to help, but over time, you realize their praise is a hook designed to reel you in. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, would nod knowingly here. They taught that true worth comes from within, not from the fleeting approval of others. A manipulator's flattery isn't about lifting you up. It's about bending you to their will, making you feel obligated to meet their demands. Let's paint a clearer picture. You're catching up with a colleague who's always quick to praise your work, but one day they ask you to take on their share of a project, saying, "You're so good at this, I know you'll nail it." Flattered, you agree, only to find this becomes a pattern. Their compliments dry up when you say no, leaving you chasing their approval. It's like running on a treadmill, exhausting yourself to stay in their good graces. The Stoics would urge you to pause and reflect. Are you living for your own principles, or are you dancing to someone else's tune? Epictetus reminds us that we can't control others' actions, only our responses. By grounding yourself in your own values, you can see through the flattery and recognize it for what it is, a tool for control. Now let's talk about a darker tactic, isolation. Picture a partner who seems caring at first, always wanting to spend time with you. But slowly they start planting seeds of doubt about your loved ones. Your friends don't really get you, they say, or your family's holding you back. At first you brush it off, but their words linger. Over time, you find yourself pulling away from the people who matter most, leaning more and more on this person for support. It's like being stranded on an island with them as your only lifeline. The Stoics, who valued community and connection, would see this as a direct attack on your strength. They believed we thrive in supportive relationships, not in isolation. A manipulator's goal is to cut you off from your network, making you easier to control. Have you ever felt that slow drift from your friends or family, nudged along by someone else's words? That's a red flag waving in the wind. Then there's financial manipulation, a tactic that can lock you in place. Imagine a partner who insists on controlling the household budget. They say it's for your own good, but soon you're asking permission to buy a coffee or pay for a doctor's visit. Every dollar feels like a leash, limiting your freedom to make choices. Or maybe it's a friend who borrows money repeatedly, promising to pay you back, but never following through. You're left feeling used, your trust chipped away. The Stoics would encourage you to seek independence, to ensure no one holds undue power over your life. Self-sufficiency, they argued, is a cornerstone of a virtuous life. By recognizing financial control for what it is, a power play, you can start to break free. Spotting manipulation is tough, especially when it's wrapped in care or charm. The Stoics teach us to be vigilant, to step back and assess with clear eyes. Ask yourself, does this person consistently put their needs above yours? Do they make you feel guilty or unsure of yourself? Are they trying to isolate you or control your choices? Picture yourself as a sailor navigating stormy seas. The manipulator's tactics are like waves trying to knock you off course. But with Stoic discernment, you can steer straight, holding fast to your own compass. Setting boundaries is key here. Be clear and firm about what you'll tolerate. You don't need to wage a war. Just quietly assert your right to your own thoughts, feelings, and decisions. The Stoics remind us that while we can't control others, we can control how we respond. And that's where our power lies. Now let's dive into one of the most glaring signs of an evil person: controlling behavior. This isn't about someone having strong opinions or quirky preferences. It's about domination, a need to dictate every corner of your life. Imagine a friend who always decides where you go, what you do, even how you spend your time. At first, it seems harmless. They pick the restaurant, choose the movie, plan the weekend. But over time, you realize your voice is fading. You're not making choices. You're following orders. It's like being a passenger in your own life with someone else at the wheel. The Stoics, who prized personal freedom, would see this as a violation of your autonomy. Controlling behavior isn't about care. It's about power, plain and simple. Let's bring this to life. You're hanging out with a friend who insists on planning every outing. At first, it's nice. They're organized, decisive. But soon you notice they dismiss your suggestions with a laugh or a subtle jab. That place isn't worth it, they say, or you wouldn't like that. Over time, you stop offering ideas, feeling like your preferences don't matter. This isn't friendship. It's control, disguised as concern. The Stoics would urge you to reclaim your freedom, to stand firm in your right to choose. Controlling people often hide their need for dominance behind a mask of care, but the truth is, they're threatened by your independence. Why else would they work so hard to keep you in their orbit? As we unpack these signs, you're gaining the tools to spot controlling behavior and protect your peace. The Stoics believed that living virtuously means living freely, guided by reason and self-control. By recognizing manipulation and control for what they are, you're stepping into that freedom. Stay with us for the rest of this video, where we'll explore more red flags and share practical strategies to shield your mental health. And if you're finding this journey eye-opening, hit that subscribe button to keep learning with us. Let's continue this path together, building a life of resilience and wisdom. We've just explored how controlling behavior and manipulation can suffocate your freedom, chaining you to someone else's agenda. But what happens when the truth itself becomes a casualty, twisted and warped by someone who lies as easily as they breathe? Today, we're diving into the unsettling world of controlling tactics and pathological lying, two hallmarks of an evil person that can leave you trapped in doubting reality. With vivid stories and Stoic wisdom, we'll uncover how to spot these behaviors and reclaim your autonomy. Stay with us. This journey is about arming you with the clarity to protect your peace and live true to your values. Picture this. You're planning a night out with a friend who always seems to take charge. They pick the restaurant, decide the vibe, and brush off your suggestions with a smile. Trust me, I know what's best, they say, their words sounding caring, but feeling like a command. At first, you go along with it. Maybe they're just decisive, but over time, you notice your voice fading. Your preferences, your ideas, they're drowned out, overwritten by their insistence. It's like being a guest in your own life, following a script you didn't write. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, would see this as a direct threat to your inner freedom. They taught that true autonomy means holding fast to your own choices, no matter the external pressure. Controlling behavior isn't about collaboration, it's about domination, plain and simple. Let's zoom in on a relationship. Imagine a partner who always wants to know where you are. They text you constantly, demanding updates, and maybe even check your phone when you're not looking. I just worry about you, they say, but their actions feel like surveillance. You start tiptoeing around, avoiding conflict, feeling like you're walking on eggshells. Or perhaps they insist on controlling the finances, claiming, "You're not good with money, so I'll handle it." Suddenly, you're asking permission for basic expenses, your independence slipping away like sand through your fingers. The Stoics would call this a form of enslavement, a stripping away of your self-sufficiency. They believed in managing your own resources wisely, ensuring no one holds the reins of your life but you. Have you ever felt that creeping sense of being watched or controlled, disguised as care? That's a red flag you can't ignore. Isolation is another weapon in the controller's arsenal. Picture a loved one who subtly criticizes your friends or family. They don't really care about you, they whisper, or "I'm the only one who gets you." At first, you might shrug it off, but their words plant seeds of doubt. Slowly, you drift from your support network, leaning more on this person until they're your only anchor. It's like being marooned on an island, with them as your sole source of companionship. The Stoics, who cherish community, would warn against this. They saw strong relationships as vital to personal growth and isolation as a tactic to weaken you. A controlling person doesn't want you surrounded by allies. They want you dependent, easier to steer. By recognizing this, you can start rebuilding those connections, reclaiming the strength that comes from community. Then there's the chilling use of threats and intimidation. A controlling person might hint at leaving you, harming themselves, or even hurting you if you don't comply. These aren't just words, they're chains, designed to keep you in line through fear. Imagine a partner who says, "If you leave me, I don't know what I'll do to myself." Suddenly you're paralyzed, afraid to act in your own best interest. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, taught that courage means facing fear head on, refusing to let intimidation dictate your choices. True wisdom lies in standing firm, seeing these threats for what they are, attempts to rob you of your power. The Stoics would remind you that you can't control others' actions, but you can control your response, choosing clarity over fear. So, how do you break free? The Stoics advise setting firm boundaries like a fortress guarding your autonomy. Communicate your needs clearly. Say what you will and won't tolerate. You don't need a dramatic showdown. Sometimes a quiet assertion of your rights is enough. Seek support from trusted friends or family, those who will remind you of your worth. Imagine your life as a garden, vibrant and yours to nurture. You wouldn't let someone trample it, would you? By valuing your freedom and staying true to your principles, you resist the pull of control, living the Stoic ideal of a life guided by reason and virtue. Now let's turn to another sinister trait, pathological lying. This isn't about the occasional fib we all tell. It's a relentless web of deceit, spun to manipulate and mislead. Picture a coworker who always has a grand story to tell. They embellish their achievements, making themselves the hero of every tale. At first, it's entertaining, but then you catch them in a lie. Something small like exaggerating a project's success. Soon you realize their stories don't add up, and their version of reality shifts to suit their needs. It's like trying to navigate a maze where the walls keep moving. The Stoics, who prize truth above all, would see this as a betrayal of virtue. Marcus Aurelius taught that a life aligned with nature means living in honesty, grounding your actions in reason. A pathological liar lives in opposition to this, crafting a false reality that serves only themselves. These lies can erode trust, leaving relationships in tatters. Imagine confiding in a friend, only to learn they fabricated details about their life to gain your sympathy. Or a colleague who twists facts to take credit for your work, leaving you questioning what's real. The damage isn't just emotional, it's a theft of your clarity, your ability to make informed choices. The Stoics would urge you to stay vigilant, to observe patterns of deceit. Do their stories change over time? Do they dodge accountability when confronted? By anchoring yourself in truth, you can see through their web of lies, protecting your peace from their distortions. As we unravel these signs, you're gaining the tools to spot controlling behavior and pathological lying in your life. The Stoics believe that knowledge is power, and by recognizing these traits, you're reclaiming your freedom to live authentically. Stay with us for the rest of this video, where we'll dive into more red flags and share practical strategies to safeguard your mental health. If you're finding this journey empowering, hit that subscribe button to keep learning with us. Let's continue this path together, building a life of resilience and truth. We've just unraveled the tangled web of controlling behavior and pathological lying, exposing how some people distort truth to trap you in their narrative. But how do these lies grow, and what can you do when deceit becomes a constant shadow in your relationships? Today, we're diving deeper into the destructive world of pathological lying and the vital steps to protect your peace. With vivid stories and Stoic wisdom, we'll explore how to spot these behaviors, break free from their grip, and build a life grounded in truth. Stay with us. This journey is about reclaiming your clarity and living authentically. Imagine trusting someone with your heart, only to discover their words are a house of cards, ready to collapse at the slightest scrutiny. A pathological liar doesn't just stretch the truth. They weave elaborate stories to manipulate, control, or simply bask in admiration. Picture a colleague who boasts about their role in a big project, claiming they single-handedly sealed the deal. You're impressed until you learn they barely contributed, taking credit for your team's hard work. Or think of a friend who spins tales of a glamorous past, each story more dramatic than the last, designed to draw you in. It's like watching a magician perform, dazzling you with illusions while hiding the truth. The Stoics, champions of honesty, would see this as a betrayal of virtue. Marcus Aurelius taught that a life aligned with nature is rooted in truth, and pathological lying is a deliberate step away from that ideal. In the workplace, these lies can poison the air. Imagine a coworker who inflates their qualifications, claiming expertise they don't have. They might spread rumors about a colleague to undermine them or exaggerate their contributions to snag a promotion. The result? A toxic environment where trust erodes and everyone's on edge, wondering who's telling the truth. It's like working in a fog, never sure what's real. Epictetus, the Stoic sage, would urge you to focus on what you can control, your own integrity. Don't let their deceit pull you into their chaos. By staying true to your principles, you become an anchor, unshaken by their falsehoods. Have you ever sensed that unease when someone's story doesn't quite add up? That's your intuition, and the Stoics would tell you to listen. In personal relationships, pathological lying cuts even deeper. Picture a partner who lies about where they've been who they're with, or even how they feel. At first, you might overlook it, chalking it up to a bad day, but the lies pile up, leaving you anxious, second-guessing your own perceptions. You might catch them in a contradiction, only for them to brush it off with a new story, making you doubt your memory. It's like standing on shifting sand, never sure of your footing. The liar thrives on this confusion, using it to keep you off balance and under their influence. Seneca, another Stoic voice, taught that true peace comes from within, not from the approval or honesty of others. When someone's lies make you question reality, trust your judgment and hold fast to your inner tranquility. What makes pathological lying so insidious is its subtlety. These liars are often masters of their craft, delivering falsehoods with such confidence and detail that you can't help but believe them. They might sprinkle just enough truth into their stories to blur the lines, making it hard to separate fact from fiction. Imagine a friend who tells you about a traumatic experience, their eyes brimming with emotion. You're moved, ready to support them, until you notice inconsistencies, dates that don't match, details that shift. When confronted, they might deflect, saying, "You're misremembering," or spin a new tale to cover the cracks. The Stoics would call for vigilance here, urging you to seek truth through careful observation. Don't take their words at face value. Look for evidence, patterns, and how they react when challenged. Speaking of reactions, that's a key tell. A genuine person, when caught in a mistake, owns it, seeking to make amends. But a pathological liar, they double down, weaving more lies to prop up the first. Picture confronting that coworker about their exaggerated project role. Instead of admitting fault, they might lash out, accusing you of jealousy, or offer a slick explanation that sounds plausible but unravels under scrutiny. It's like watching a spider spin a web, each thread designed to trap you deeper. The Stoics would advise staying calm, refusing to let their defensiveness provoke you. By keeping your emotions in check, you see their behavior for what it is, a desperate attempt to cling to control. The long-term impact of pathological lying is devastating. Trust, the foundation of any relationship, crumbles under the weight of constant deceit. You might find yourself always on guard, wondering if the next word out of their mouth will be another lie. This creates a toxic cycle of suspicion and resentment, draining your energy and peace. Imagine the exhaustion of constantly fact-checking a partner or friend, never fully relaxing in their presence. The Stoics, who valued honest, respectful relationships, would ask, is this connection worth the cost? Sometimes the healthiest choice is to walk away, prioritizing your well-being over a bond built on sand. But if you choose to stay, setting boundaries is non-negotiable. Be clear about what you'll tolerate. No more lies, no more manipulation, and hold firm. So how do you protect yourself from this whirlwind of deceit? The Stoics offer a roadmap. First, stay grounded in your values. Your integrity is your shield, untouchable by their lies. Second, set firm boundaries. If someone's dishonesty crosses a line, call it out calmly and assert your limits. You might say, I need honesty in our relationship, and I won't engage if you're not truthful. Third, don't be afraid to distance yourself. Your peace of mind is a garden, vibrant, and yours to protect. Why let someone poison it with their deceit? Finally, seek support from those who value truth. Friends, family, or mentors who'll remind you of your worth. The Stoics believe that community strengthens us, and surrounding yourself with honest people is a powerful antidote to a liar's influence. As we close this chapter, reflect on your relationships. Are there people whose words leave you doubting, whose stories never quite align? The Stoics teach that knowledge is power, and by recognizing pathological lying, you're reclaiming your right to a life of clarity and trust. Stay with us for the rest of this video, where we'll wrap up with practical strategies to shield your mental health and share a bonus tip for setting unshakable boundaries. If this journey is resonating, hit that subscribe button to keep growing with us. Let's continue this path together, building a life rooted in truth and resilience. We've just exposed the chaos of pathological lying, revealing how deceit can unravel trust and distort reality. But how do you shield yourself from toxic behaviors while staying true to your peace? Today we're diving into the art of setting boundaries, a powerful skill to protect your mental and emotional well-being from those who seek to control or harm. With vivid stories and Stoic wisdom, we'll explore how to define your limits, stand firm, and cultivate healthier relationships. Stay with us. This journey is about empowering you to live authentically, grounded in resilience and self-respect. Imagine your life as a vibrant garden filled with the colors of your dreams, values, and peace. Now picture someone trampling through, careless of the beauty you've nurtured. Setting boundaries is like building a fence around that garden, not to shut others out, but to protect what matters most. The Stoics, with their focus on inner tranquility, would see this as essential to a virtuous life. Epictetus taught that self-respect is the cornerstone of harmony, a way to honor your true nature while fostering healthier connections. Boundaries aren't about being cold or confrontational. They're about saying, I value myself, and I expect you to do the same. Have you ever felt the weight of someone's disrespect, wishing you could draw a line? That's where boundaries come in, offering clarity and strength. Let's bring this to life. Picture a friend who often makes snide remarks disguised as jokes that leave you feeling small. At first, you laugh it off, not wanting to rock the boat, but the jabs keep coming, chipping away at your confidence. A Stoic approach would be to address it head-on with calm assertiveness. You might say, I enjoy our time together, but I won't accept disrespectful comments. If this continues, I'll need to step back. This isn't just words, it's a declaration of your worth, clear and unmistakable. The Stoics valued straightforward communication, believing it fosters respect and order in relationships. By stating your boundary, you're not only protecting your peace, but also giving the other person a chance to adjust their behavior. Clarity is crucial, but consistency is the backbone of boundaries. It's not enough to set a limit once and hope it sticks. Imagine you've told a colleague you can't take on extra work to avoid burnout. They nod, but a week later, they're piling tasks on your desk again, saying, you're just so good at this. Without follow-through, your boundary is just a suggestion. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasize discipline and perseverance. You might need to reinforce your stance, saying, as I mentioned, my current workload is full, so I can't take this on. Each time you uphold your boundary, you're teaching others how to treat you, like a sculptor chiseling a statue, shaping relationships with intention. Consistency shows you're serious, earning respect even from those who test your limits. Boundaries aren't a one-and-done deal. They evolve with your life. In a workplace buzzing with demands, you might need to set limits on your availability to protect your energy. Picture telling your boss, I'm committed to this project, but I can't take on more without compromising my responsibilities. It's a polite but firm line, balancing duty with self-care. The Stoics would applaud this, urging you not to overextend yourself to the point of exhaustion. Your well-being is a flame, and boundaries ensure it burns bright without flickering out. As relationships shift, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, your boundaries may need tweaking, like adjusting sails to catch the wind just right. But here's the tough part: pushback. People who thrive on control or manipulation don't like boundaries. They might react with anger, guilt trips, or subtle attempts to undermine you. Imagine that friend who belittles you, now bristling when you call them out. You're too sensitive, or they snap. Or, I was just joking. Why make a big deal? It's like a storm trying to shake a sturdy tree. Marcus Aurelius would counsel staying calm, unmoved by their emotional tactics. Your composure is your strength, a stoic shield against their resistance. Remind yourself, your boundaries aren't negotiable. They're your right, rooted in the need to protect your peace. When guilt trips or anger come, see them for what they are, attempts to regain control, and stand firm. Sometimes setting boundaries means making hard choices. If someone repeatedly disrespects your limits, it's a sign they don't value you. Picture a relationship where your boundaries are ignored, your voice drowned out by their demands. The Stoics, especially Seneca, taught that we must choose our company wisely, as it shapes our character and happiness. Walking away from a toxic connection can feel like a loss, but it's also a liberation. It's like cutting away dead branches to let a tree thrive. By distancing yourself from those who violate your boundaries, you're declaring your commitment to a life of virtue and self-worth. This isn't easy, but it's necessary to preserve your mental and emotional health. Support can make all the difference. Share your boundary-setting journey with trusted friends, family, or even a therapist. Imagine confiding in a close friend about that belittling friend, hearing them say, "You deserve better than that." Their encouragement is like sunlight, nourishing your resolve. The Stoics valued community, recognizing that we're stronger together. Talking through your experiences, your struggles, your wins, helps you refine your approach and stay grounded. A supportive circle reminds you that you're not alone, offering perspective when toxic behaviors cloud your view. As we wrap up, think about your own boundaries. Are there relationships where you feel disrespected or drained? The Stoics teach that your peace is your responsibility, and boundaries are your tools to protect it. By setting clear limits, staying consistent, and seeking support, you're living the Stoic ideal, a life of integrity, resilience, and self-respect. Stay with us for the final part of this video, where we'll share a bonus strategy to make your boundaries unshakable and wrap up with practical tips to safeguard your well-being. If this journey is hitting home, hit that subscribe button to keep growing with us. Let's continue this path together, crafting a life rooted in strength and truth. We've just explored the power of setting boundaries, learning how to protect your peace from those who manipulate or deceive. But how do you sustain that strength, ensuring your resolve stands firm against life's challenges? Today, we're wrapping up our journey with a deep dive into the vital roles of community, self-care, and self-respect in maintaining your boundaries. With vivid stories and Stoic wisdom, we'll uncover how to nurture your well-being and live a life rooted in virtue. Stay with us. This final chapter is about empowering you to shine brightly, no matter who tries to dim your light. Imagine your boundaries as a sturdy lighthouse, guiding you through stormy seas. You've set them with clarity and held them with consistency, but even the strongest lighthouse needs support to keep its beam steady. That's where your community comes in. Picture sitting with a trusted friend, sharing the struggle of dealing with a toxic colleague who ignores your limits. As you talk, their encouragement feels like a warm ray of sunlight, bolstering your courage. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, understood the interconnectedness of humanity. They saw mutual support as a cornerstone of a meaningful life, a way to strengthen each other's resolve. Leaning on like-minded people, friends, family, or even a mentor, gives you perspective, like a mirror reflecting your worth when toxic behaviors try to obscure it. Have you ever felt uplifted by someone who truly sees you? That's the power of community, a Stoic principle that fortifies your boundaries. Let's paint a scene. You're navigating a tense situation with a manipulative relative who guilt trips you whenever you assert your needs. It's draining and doubt creeps in. But then you confide in a sibling who's been through similar struggles. They listen, nod, and say, "You're doing the right thing by standing your ground." Their words are like a lifeline, pulling you back to clarity. This isn't just emotional support, it's a Stoic practice of building strength through connection. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the value of surrounding yourself with those who share your commitment to truth and virtue. Your support network reminds you that you're not alone, offering insights that sharpen your resolve and keep your boundaries intact. By sharing your journey, you tap into a collective wisdom that the Stoics cherished, ensuring you stay grounded in your values. Now let's turn to self-care, the fuel that keeps your inner light burning. Picture a quiet evening after a long week. You're curled up with a favorite book, or maybe you're taking a walk, the breeze carrying away the day's stress. These moments aren't just indulgences, they're acts of self-respect, reinforcing that your well-being matters. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, saw self-care as foundational to a virtuous life. They believe that nurturing your physical and mental health equips you to face challenges with clarity and strength. Without it, you're like a warrior heading into battle without armor, vulnerable to the chaos of toxic people. Self-care sends a message. You are worth protecting, and no one's disrespect can change that. Let's make it real. Imagine you've been dealing with a coworker who constantly oversteps your boundaries, piling extra tasks on your plate. You're exhausted, teetering on burnout. A Stoic approach would be to carve out time for yourself, maybe a morning jog to clear your mind, or a quiet hour journaling your thoughts. These acts recharge you, like water nourishing a parched plant. Epictetus taught that caring for yourself isn't selfish. It's preparation to fulfill your responsibilities and support others. By prioritizing activities that bring joy and relaxation, you're building resilience, ensuring you have the energy to enforce your boundaries. Whether it's meditation, a hobby, or simply a good night's sleep, self-care is a declaration that your peace is non-negotiable. At the heart of all this is self-respect, the Stoic principle that ties it all together. Setting boundaries isn't just about keeping others in check, it's about honoring your own value. Picture standing in front of a mirror, looking yourself in the eye and saying, "I am enough." That's the essence of Stoic self-love, a recognition that your worth doesn't depend on others' approval or behavior. The Stoics taught that true value comes from within, from living with integrity and aligning your actions with virtue. When you set a boundary, whether it's telling a friend their sarcasm hurts or refusing to let a colleague dump their work on you, you're making a bold statement. I respect myself, and I won't let anyone diminish that. This self-respect transforms boundary setting from a defense mechanism into a celebration of your identity. Imagine a moment when you calmly tell a manipulative acquaintance, "I won't engage if you keep twisting the truth." Your voice is steady, your heart firm. That's not just a boundary, it's a Stoic triumph, a commitment to living authentically. Seneca would nod in approval, reminding us that our primary duty is to our own virtue and well-being. By refusing to let toxic behaviors erode your peace, you're crafting a life of resilience, like a tree standing tall through a storm. Your boundaries become a reflection of your inner strength, a testament to your dedication to a virtuous life. As we close this journey, let's reflect. Who in your life challenges your peace, and how can you protect it? The Stoics offer a timeless guide. Lean on your community for strength. Prioritize self-care to stay grounded, and let self-respect guide your boundaries. Your well-being is a treasure, worth guarding against anyone who tries to undermine it. By living these principles, you're not just surviving toxic behaviors, you're thriving, building a life of clarity, virtue, and unshakable tranquility. Thank you for joining me on this powerful exploration with Stoic Journal. If this resonated with you, don't miss the suggested videos on your screen for more insights to fuel your growth. Hit that subscribe button to stay part of our community and keep shining your light. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep living your truth.